Good afternoon, everybody. Yesterday, you had asked me some questions. Yesterday means in the last class, you had asked me some questions. There are around 13 to 14 questions. So, let me answer them first very quickly, and then we get into the discussion for today. We are discussing Section 27 of the Indian Evidence Act, as you all are aware of. We are discussing Section 27 of the Indian Evidence Act. First question that I picked up from the last class: is confessional FIR a substantive evidence? Is confessional FIR a substantive evidence? Now you see, you must keep in mind that at the time of lodging the FIR, normally the investigation has not yet started. At the time of lodging the FIR, normally the investigation has not yet started. And if the investigation has not yet started, then section 162 of the CRPC will not apply upon that FIR. Then section 162 of the FIR will not apply upon that FIR. Section 162 of the CRPC would not apply on that FIR. So it may be a substantive. That FIR can be a substantive piece of evidence. Now, what are the substantive and the procedural uses that I have already discussed with you? But the problem here is that you are talking about a confessional FIR. You are talking about the confessional FIR. Now, confessional FIR is made to a police. So, any confession made to the police officer and there will be a deemed custody also. Because after recording the confessional FIR, the police will not let you go. So, in that case, it will be hit by section 26 of the Indian Evidence Act, and the confessional FIR will not be admissible. But yes, if there is a discovery statement in that confessional FIR, then the discovery statement will be admissible. The whole FIR, since it is confessional, it will not be admissible. But since there is a discovery statement, the discovery part will be admissible. Just a minute. Then the second question was, if court is suspicious about the discovery statement, if court is suspicious about the discovery statement, can it call the accused for examination? If the court is suspicious about the discovery statement, can it call the accused for examination? Now here the answer is, otherwise also, if a discovery statement appears before the court and is proved before the court, but there is some doubt about the discovery statement, then the court always has the power of section 313 of the CRPC. And in section 313 of the CRPC, the court can always ask for the explanation from the accused. As to there is a discovery statement against you, what do you have to say in that regard? So there the accused may be examined regarding the discovery statement. So that power the court already has. Then the next question was, every discovery statement is a disclosure statement, but vice versa is not correct. Every discovery statement is a disclosure statement, but vice versa is not correct. You are right. You are right. Because first it will be disclosure statement, then it will be the accused will be taken to the spot, he will do the pinpointing, and if the object is discovered, then that disclosure statement now becomes the discovery or the recovery statement. So, discovery statement, if there is a discovery statement, means obviously there was a disclosure. But there can be cases where disclosure has been made, but object was not discovered. So that is a mere disclosure statement, but not a discovery statement. But the moment you say it is a discovery statement, so obviously disclosure was a part of the discovery statement. So your statement is correct. Every disclosure statement, every discovery statement is a disclosure statement, but vice versa is not always correct. Then someone had asked me, if a sword is kept in the statue of Maharana Pratap, if a sword is hidden inside the statue of Maharana Pratap, then if the accused takes the police and pinpoints and the sword is discovered from the statue of Maharana Pratap, then will that amount to a discovery statement? Answer is yes. If it was kept in front of the statue, in the open, people could see that, then no. But if it was hidden inside the statue of Maharana Pratap, then obviously it was at a place of hiding, and therefore, that will amount to a discovery statement. That will amount to a discovery statement. Then someone had asked me, is the discovery of a dead body a discovery of an object? Again, the answer is yes. Discovery of dead body is the discovery of an object. Then next is, if two weapons are used but only one weapon is discovered. If two weapons were used for the same murder, the accused used two weapons for murder, but on discovery only one weapon was discovered. So will that be admissible? Yes, to the extent of that one weapon which was discovered, the discovery statement will be admissible. With respect to that one weapon which was discovered, the discovery statement will be admissible. Then if there are more than one accused in the case, someone had asked me, if there are more than one accused in the case, is it essential to take all the accused on the spot? Suppose A, B and C jointly have committed the murder of D. A, B and C jointly have committed the murder of D, then for discovery, is it essential to take A, B and C, all of them, to the spot? Now it depends upon as to who had made the discovery statement. If only A had made the discovery statement, then only A will be taken. If only B had made the discovery statement, then only B will be taken, the others will not be taken. But suppose all of them had made the discovery statement. If all of them had made the same discovery statement, then there is something called joint disclosure or joint discovery. So there all of them can be taken, but that is a topic which we are going to discuss today if we get time. So I am not discussing any further on this question. This topic as it is I will be discussing with you later on, either today or tomorrow. But yes, if only one of them had made the disclosure, then only that person will be taken to the place for discovery and the others will not be taken. Then, is the discovery statement made in a question answer form or a narrative form? It depends. It depends. Normally a discovery statement is made in a narrative form only, but it can be question answer form also. So either of them. Then this question was asked, I don't know why, because this topic I have already discussed in details with you. If there is a discovery statement made in narco-analysis test, if there is a discovery statement made in narco-analysis test, then is that discovery statement admissible? Now this point I have already discussed with you when I had discussed Selvi versus State of Karnataka. When I had discussed Selvi versus State of Karnataka, this point I had discussed in details with you earlier, and I had discussed that with expert opinion, section 9 read with section 45 etc. तो वहाँ पे मैंने ये डिस्कस किया था. There I had discussed this, but still just to remind you, if the narco analysis was done voluntarily, then the discovery statement is admissible. But if it was done under compulsion, then discovery statement is not admissible. This point we have already discussed. This point we have already discussed. नहीं, अगर वॉलंटरी है तो इन दैट केस वॉलंटरी अगर था नार्को एनालिसिस, उसमें डिस्कवरी हुआ है, डिस्कवरी स्टेटमेंट आया है, देन दैट डिस्कवरी स्टेटमेंट विल बी admissible. मेरे ख्याल से अंकुर is writing it is not admissible. Ankur, it is admissible, but only in one case, when the narco analysis was voluntary. Then next is section 27 is an exception to section 162 or not. Now section 27 is an exception to section 162 CRPC or not. This was another question. Now this point I have to discuss today, so I am not discussing right now. Section 162 CRPC and section 27, what is the relationship, that I will be discussing today, because section 162 CRPC, the second clause, clearly saves a discovery statement. So to that extent, section 27 is a saving clause, for section 162. But I will discuss that after a while. Is that fine? Then apart from that, there were some questions which were a bit long questions, so I have not written it. I will read it out from the message box only. So give me a few seconds. Let me open the pages. Your batch is EM1, no? Page number 40. Someone had asked me, this is Kanika Khanduja. She had asked us yesterday, sir, when we establish the logical, there is a question. Kanika had asked this. Sir, when we establish the logical connection that accused knows exactly about the place of hiding of object, because either he himself committed the offense or otherwise he had the knowledge of the place of hiding. If he had otherwise knowledge, that is, he himself did not commit the offense, how is he is an accused of an offense. I am reading it again. फिर से सुनिएगा. Listen again. Sir, when we establish the logical connection that accused knows exactly about the place of hiding of the object, because either he himself committed the offense or otherwise had the knowledge of the place of hiding. Next sentence, if he had otherwise knowledge, means he did not commit the offense himself, he had otherwise knowledge, that is, himself did not commit the offense, how is he an accused of an offense? Dekho, when you make a person an accused in the beginning, of the proceedings, so you make him an accused on the basis of suspicion. Now whether he has committed the offense or not, whether he is guilty or not, that is a matter to be decided after trial. Right now you have some suspicion upon him, so you arrested him. once you arrested him, he made a statement in which he declared the whereabouts of an object. You took him to the spot, you got the object discovered, so that becomes a discovery statement against him. Now, whether he has committed the crime or not, that will not be determined only by the discovery statement. That will not be determined only by the discovery statement. Other circumstantial evidences also will be seen. So at the trial, whether there are other circumstantial evidences or not, whether there are some other incriminating facts against him or not, whether there are some exculpatory facts in his favor or not, after seeing all that, then maybe the court may decide at the end that no, he has to be acquitted because he did not commit the offense. He rather had the knowledge as a witness, but he did not commit the offense. So accused, when he becomes an accused, he is made an accused on the basis of prima facie case, on the basis of suspicion. Whether he is guilty or not, that will be decided at the end of the trial. I hope, Kanika, you understood it. And therefore, he always can be an accused, even if there is no very strong case against him. If a prima facie case is there against him, and he has made a discovery statement also after arrest, then obviously he is an accused. But trial, it will be determined whether he has committed the offense or not. Then there was this page number 94. Just a minute. Page number 94. This is निखिल खरब. निखिल खरब ने ये सवाल पूछा था. This question was asked by Nikhil Kharab. A and B both commit murder. A and B both commit murder. Now A makes a disclosure statement and police goes to make discovery. A makes a disclosure statement, police goes to make a discovery. Will police collect the object there and then, or will police take B also after B makes disclosure statement and collect the object after both A and B make separate discovery? Will police, I am repeating it, will police, अब A and B have committed the offense, A makes the disclosure statement, will the police go and do the discovery, or will the police wait for B also to make the statement? That is what he is asking. Will police collect the object there and then, or will the police take B also after B makes a disclosure statement and collect the object after both A and B make separate discovery? Now this question I will not answer, Nikhil, right now, because today we have to discuss, today or tomorrow we have to discuss the concept of joint disclosure. इसी जैसा similar question was asked earlier. So when we go for joint disclosure, then I will discuss this question. There can be a case of joint disclosure. दो लोगों ने, two accused have made the disclosure statement separately. A also made a disclosure statement, B also made a disclosure statement. Then in that case the police can go for joint discovery by taking both of them one by one. But that is a process which I will discuss with you. Earlier this was not the case. Earlier the case was that once first person has made the disclosure statement, police will take him and get the discovery done. It will not wait for the other person to make the statement. Whoever first made the disclosure statement, he will be taken for discovery. But after that parliament attack case, Afzal versus NCT of Delhi, 2005 Supreme Court, ये मैं केस आपको लिखवाऊंगा बाद में. After the parliament attack case, it has been held there that joint disclosure also can be done. तो ये पॉइंट मैं डिस्कस करूंगा बाद में, थोड़ा वेट करिए निखिल जी. And then there was a question on page number 110. Page number 110 means what? Page number 110 means what? You people had sent me messages in the last class worth more than 110 pages. I have read all of them. Some were normal messages, some were questions, and I have picked up the questions. तो मतलब इतने पेजेस मुझे पढ़वा दिए तुम लोगों ने. Now I am reading, this is Ruchika Achriya. Ruchika Achriya had asked this question. So let me read the question. रुचिका ध्यान से सुनिएगा प्लीज. सर, आई एम रीडिंग हर क्वेश्चन. Sir, if there is a theft done by two persons of a mobile, two accused, suppose A and B, two accused have committed the theft of a mobile, A ran away but B was left. After the theft, A ran away and B remained on the spot. Police came, arrested B and took B to the police station. Police arrested B and took him to the police station, and B made a disclosure statement about the mobile phone. So A ran away, B was arrested, and B made a disclosure statement about the mobile phone. And B went with the police for discovery. But it is found at the possession of A. But the mobile phone is actually found in the possession of A. So will disclosure statement be admissible? देखो, whenever you get the discovery of a thing done, it should be at some place of hiding. If you have got it discovered from the possession of some third person, now that is not a place of hiding. That is not a place of hiding, because that third person can also inform the police about the object. Suppose I stole this mobile phone and I gave it to you, कि तुम रखो. And when I took the police for discovery, though it was found with you, you handed it over to the police. So obviously there are all chances that you can inform the police that I have got the mobile phone. Even if you are an accused, you have, maybe there are chances that you may have informed the police. And therefore, such a discovery is not considered to be. And therefore, such a discovery is not considered to be a discovery. Such a discovery is not considered to be a discovery. It will not be admissible. Now, Ankur is asking, sir, can be the confession in church admissible? Because when you make a confession in church, so obviously the confession you make before the Father. So it is not a confession to a police officer. It is not a confession to a police officer. It is a confession to a private person. So it becomes an extrajudicial confession, and the father can always come to the court and give the evidence of it. So such a confession will be admissible, but in the form of extrajudicial confession. ठीक है? I think the questions are over, the ones which were relevant in the last class. Now let's move next into the topic. Let's move next into the topic. We have been discussing, someone is writing State of Maharashtra versus Siraj Ahmed, Nisar Ahmed is an important case on this point. What point? That the object was discovered from the possession of an accused, of another person. You are right. State of, मैं केस का नाम लिख दूं? Just give me a few seconds. State of Maharashtra versus Siraj Ahmed. Just give me a few seconds. I have the case with me. This case is an important case on the point that if discovery is made from a third person, a possession of the third person, then it will not be a confession. Sorry, it will not be a discovery statement. चाहो तो केस का नाम लिख लो, स्टेट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र वर्सेस सिराज अहमद, निसार अहमद and others. This was 2007 Supreme Court. Please write a sentence. Please write a sentence. It is essential. It is essential that the object should have been. It is essential that the object should have been discovered from a place of hiding. It is essential that the object should have been discovered from a place of hiding. It is essential that the object should have been discovered from a place of hiding, and therefore, if the object is discovered from the possession of a third person, if the object is discovered from the possession of a third person, if the object is discovered from the possession of a third person, then such discovery statement is not admissible. Then such discovery statement is not admissible. Is not admissible. Why? Because it was not discovered from a place of hiding. It was discovered from the possession of. Suppose you have given the object to me after committing a theft. You have given the object to me. You make the disclosure statement, and the police comes to me with you, and you ask me, you give me that object, and I hand over the object to you or to the police. Now this is where there are all chances that I may have informed the police that the object is lying with me, and the police wants to frame that accused, and therefore the police may create this evidence artificially. So यहाँ पे फिर this discovery statement will not be admissible because it was found from the possession of a third person. Screen दिखाओ. It was state of Maharashtra versus Siraj Ahmad, Nisar Ahmad and others. चाहो तो लिख लो and others. (2007) Supreme Court. State of Maharashtra versus Siraj Ahmad, Nisar Ahmad and others. 2007 Supreme Court. 2007 Supreme Court. Is that fine? I think that much time is sufficient for you to write the name of the case. Now the point that I was discussing, अब देखो section 27, in section 27, the points that we have already discussed are, number one, we discussed the purpose. We have discussed the purpose of section 27, purpose and policy. Then we talked about the rule of interpretation being a proviso it has to be given a strict interpretation, it has to be given a liberal interpretation. Then we talked about the difference between disclosure statement and discovery statement. This also we have discussed. Discovery statement is also called recovery statement. It is also called recovery statement. The police normally will use the word recovery. Then we discussed the entire process. We have discussed the entire process of the discovery. We have discussed the entire process of discovery. How the statement is made, who all people sign the statement, there is a site plan made. In fact, the police takes the accused to the spot, and if remand period is almost over, then the police will seek a police remand from the magistrate, and he is taken to the spot, and there he will pinpoint the object, and the object is discovered there in the presence of two witnesses, and if two are not there, then one witness will also be sufficient. Who will be the witness, etc. All that we have discussed in details. How the magistrate at times gives a conditional police remand, that also I have told you. Then we have discussed the term place of hiding. The object should be discovered from place of hiding. This also we have discussed. The object should be discovered from a place of hiding. If it was kept in an open place, visible to the others also, then that cannot be a case of discovery statement. It has to be at some place which can be rationally called a place of hiding, where it was not open to the sight of the other people, where it was not visible to the other people. Then next you have to see, we have after that we talked about distinctly. And yesterday we were discussing about distinctly. This was the last point that we were discussing, distinctly. Distinctly. And in that we had discussed the Agnu Nagesha case. Agnu Nagesha versus state of Bihar. I don't remember exactly the year, but I think it is 1965 Supreme Court. Is it correct? 1965 Supreme Court. I have not written it here. I'll have to cross check this, but I think I am right. Anyone? Is it correct? 65? No? Anyone? 65 ही है ना, 1965. Someone is writing it is 1966. नहीं, जब आप फुल साइटेशन लिखोगे, पेज नंबर, वॉल्यूम नंबर ऑफ द जर्नल, तब तो जिस साल वो उस जर्नल में पब्लिश हुआ था वो ईयर लिखोगे. बट I have already told you that when you are writing only the year, then you must write the year of the judgment. When you are writing only the year, then you must write the year of the judgment. So according to my understanding, the year of the judgment was 1965. Publication in the journal may have been in 1966, but let me cross check this. Then I'll tell you. For your satisfaction. स्क्रीन दिखाइए प्लीज. देखो, दिस इज अग्नु नगेशिया. अब ऊपर देखोगे तो यहाँ पे इट इज 1966 HCR, and here also AIR 1966, and then here also 1966 Criminal Law Journal, page number 100. But if you look at the year of the judgment, what is the year? 4th day of May 1965. It is 4th day of May 1965, and therefore the year that you will put in the exam will be 1965 Supreme Court. If you are writing this entire thing 1966 1 SCR 134, then you write 1966. If you are writing AIR 1966 SC 119, then you write 1966, because you are writing the entire journal, you are writing AIR also, you are writing the page number also. So उस केस में आप ये citation लिखोगे. लेकिन normally एग्जाम में पेज नंबर वगैरह याद नहीं रहता, तो you have to write the year only. So year was 1965. So to me it is 1965. Is that fine? And the judgment was delivered by whom? Honorable Justice R.S. Bachawat. Yeah. Honorable Mr. Justice R.S. Bachawat, it was a 3 judges bench. Honorable Mr. Justice, चाहो तो नाम लिख लो please. Honorable Mr. Justice R.S. Bachawat, BACHAWAT. And the other 2 judges in the bench were Honorable Justice Raghubar Dayal and Honorable Justice K. Subbarao. They were the other 2 judges on the bench, 3 judges bench, Justice K. Subbarao and Justice Raghubar Dayal and Honorable Justice R.S. Bachawat. Judgment delivered by Honorable Justice R.S. Bachawat. Is that fine? Please remember the name of the judge, because it was a 3 judges bench. So remember the name of the judge who delivered the judgment at least. सबका नाम याद रखना जरूरी नहीं है, but at least the name of the judge who had delivered the judgment. Cases में थोड़ा सा कोशिश करो. Please try to remember the names. Look at the names of the judges, no? So that plays a very important role. These 3 names, Subbarao Justice, Raghubar Dayal Justice, R.S. Bachawat Justice. So broadly you will know that, for your own purpose you will know that these 3 judges were there in 1966. तो बाई चांस कभी एग्जाम में जज का नाम कहीं पूछ दें तो you will be able to eliminate and get to the correct choice, because by this you know that these 3 judges were Supreme Court judges concurrently, and they were in 1965-66. 65. तो एक ब्रॉड आपको पिक्चर बन जाता है. और किसने जजमेंट डिलीवर किया? आई टोल्ड यू, इफ इट इज अ लैंडमार्क जजमेंट, then who delivered the judgment? That is also a very important thing that you have to keep in mind. And if possible, you will write like this. You will write like this. Honorable Mr. Justice R.S. Bachawat, speaking for himself and other 2 honorable judges, या Honorable Mr. Justice R.S. Bachawat, speaking for a 3 judges bench in Agnu Nagesia versus State of Bihar 1965 Supreme Court, held as follows. So you will write the point, held as follows के बाद whatever point is there, and the reasoning behind that, the ratio behind that was so and so. And then you explain the reasoning behind that judgment. This is the way of writing a judgment in the exam. If you don't remember that it was a 3 judges bench, then simply you write Honorable Mr. Justice R.S. Bachawat in so and so case held as follows. Someone is writing, speaking for the other brother judges. Can we write this? You can write other brother judges, but this is not a proper way. You have to write speaking for a 3 judges bench, speaking for a 5 judges bench. ठीक? Anyways, now, so we were discussing distinctly yesterday and I had explained it. I'll just very quickly repeat it and go ahead now. अब next topic में जाएंगे. देखो, what I told you, suppose this is a confessional statement. Suppose this is a confessional statement. Right now I am not picking up the example of a non-confessional statement because that I'll discuss after some time. It was a confessional statement. The accused made a confessional statement and so many sentences he has got recorded. It may be in 1 page, it may be 2, 3, 4 pages. As in Agnu Nagesha yesterday you read, it was a long statement. Since it is a confessional statement, in Agnu Nagesha it was a confessional FIR. He had filed an FIR against his own self. In Agnu Nagesha, he had filed an FIR against his own self. Someone is asking me, sir, how to address a lady judge? Same manner. But Mr. के जगह MS लगा दो, Miss. Mrs. normally आप नहीं लिखते हैं, Miss लिखो, MS. Honorable Justice so and so, Miss so and so. Now you see, it was a confessional FIR filed by Agnu Nagesha and he told the motive, he told his motive, manner, how he killed, the fact that he had hidden the tangi, the weapon, the dead body. He told everything, the entire story. This entire confessional FIR made to the police officer will be hit by section 26. Or if you don't understand 26 right now, then at least by 25, confession made to a police officer. Why I said 26? Because he is in deemed custody. अभी पुलिस ने formally arrest नहीं किया है, but since he has lodged an FIR about a murder case against his own self, so he will be deemed to have been arrested. So it is a case of deemed custody. So it will be hit by section 26, or if you want to understand 25. So confessional FIR will not be admissible. It will not be admissible. ये मोटिव जितनी भी बातें उसने बोली कोई भी admissible नहीं होगा. But one sentence that the tangi is behind the jhadi, behind the bushes. That the tangi is behind the bushes. This one sentence is admissible because that is the discovery statement. He goes with the police and gets the weapon discovered from there. He goes with the police and gets the dead body discovered from the place of hiding. So wherever he talks about the dead body or the weapon, sorry, that becomes a discovery statement. I have hidden it, that part of the sentence, I have hidden it, no. Even that is not admissible as discovery statement because that shows his conduct, that is a part of confession. But I have hidden it behind the bushes. So the tangi, the axe, the kulhadi is behind the bushes. This part will be admissible. मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ. I'll just show it to you. Yesterday I was reading from here, no? Just give me a few seconds. Yes, this para 6. The first information report read as follows. Now we had read this entire paragraph just in the last class, and we saw that he is talking about the entire story, the family background, the motive, the manner of killing, everything. So I'll pick up one of those main sentences. Everything will be hit by section 26 here. I'll pick up that main sentence. Just give me a few seconds. You see this. Thereafter, I dragged her to an adjoining field and laid her in a ditch to the north of it and covered her body with gongu so that people might not see her. अब here I think he is talking about his badi ma. I am continuing from the last class. Here he is talking about his badi ma. So he is saying that I struck her. यहाँ पे देखो, I struck her also all of a sudden, and I killed her. She dropped to the ground. She dropped to the ground there and then and died. So this is a part of confession. This is not discovery. This is a part of confession. This is not discovery. Then I dragged her. यहाँ से देखो. See from here. Thereafter I dragged her to an adjoining field. Now this is showing his conduct. That is also a part of confession. That is not admissible. And I laid her in a ditch. Laid her in a ditch. That is also not admissible because that is also showing his conduct. To the north of it and covered her body with gongi. Covering her body with gongu. That is also not admissible because that is a part of his conduct. So that people might not see her. From this sentence, thereafter I dragged her up till here, could not see her, might not see her. This sentence, from this sentence, one smaller sentence will come out. And that is, her dead body is in a ditch covered by gongu. This sentence, her dead body is in a ditch covered by gongu. This sentence is the disclosure statement. Not that I have hidden it in the gongu. No. Her dead body is in the gongu. Whomsoever he is talking about, Badima or her daughter, that I don't remember. So that you can read. Now, this part, that I have dragged her and hidden her, no. Her dead body is in the ditch. This sentence is the disclosure statement, and the fact that he takes the police to the spot and gets the dead body discovered from there, that is what is the discovery statement. If he gets the dead body discovered from there, similarly, in the end he is writing somewhere. This part you see, point number 13. I hid the tangi in the jhadi of my badi ma's house. I hid the tangi in the jhadi of my badi ma's house. Now he is saying I hid. He is saying I hid the tangi, the weapon, in the jhadi at badi ma's house. So I hid. This is not discovery statement. This is his conduct. This is not discovery statement. This is showing his conduct. Discovery statement क्या है फिर? The tangi is hidden, or the tangi is in the jhadi in Badi Ma's house. So that is disclosure statement. Thereafter he takes her, thereafter he takes to the police to the Badi Ma's house and gets the tangi discovered from there. Now it becomes the discovery statement. So it is not the act of hiding. It is not the act of killing. It is not the act of dragging, which is the part of the discovery statement. It is the place where tangi is in jhadi in my Badi Ma's house. This sentence, tangi is in jhadi in my Badi Ma's house. This sentence is the discovery statement, provided he gets the tangi discovered for the police by going and pinpointing on the spot. Is that fine? Is that fine? Just a minute. I'm just trying to locate something in the case. I'm just trying to locate something in the case. I'm reading para number 21. Para number 21. Listen to it carefully. Section 27 applies only to information received from a person accused of an offence in the custody of a police officer. Now the sub-inspector stated he arrested the appellant after he gave the first information report leading to the discovery. Prima facie, therefore, the appellant was not in custody of a police officer when he gave the report. उस समय formally he was not arrested. Unless it can be said that he was then in constructive custody. Constructive custody. I am talking about constructive custody right now. On the question whether a person directly giving to police information which may be used as evidence against him may be deemed to have submitted himself to the custody of the police officer within the meaning of section 27, there is conflict of opinion. Now whether a person, what they are saying is, whether a person who goes to the police and tells the police, gives the police some information, and that information is incriminating against that person himself. So will he be said to be in constructive police custody? So there they are saying that there is some conflict of opinion in this regard, and then they are citing some judgments. They are saying Subbarao Justice in the state of UP versus Devman Upadhyay and 1961. For the purposes of the case, we shall assume, the court saying in the present case, we shall assume that the appellant was constructively in police custody, and therefore the information contained in the first information report leading to the discovery of the dead body and the tangi is admissible in evidence. That information, I am reading it again. For the purposes of the case, we shall assume that the appellant was constructively in police custody, and therefore the information contained in the first information report leading to the discovery means they are not saying the whole of the FIR will be, we are not saying the whole of the FIR will be admissible. We are saying that the discovery of the dead body and tangi is admissible in the evidence, means the discovery statement will be admissible. You can always go to any of these sites and take out this case from there, and you can read it from there. indianqanun.com, and you have got many such sites you are aware of. तो वहाँ से नहीं कुछ तो गूगल से भी निकाल सकते हो. The entire evidence against the appellant then consists of the fact that the appellant gave information as to the place where the dead bodies were lying and as to the place where he concealed the tangi. The discovery of the dead bodies and the tangi, in consequence of the information, the discovery of a blood-stained chadar from the appellant's house, and the fact that he had gone to Dungi Jharan Hills in the morning of so and so. क्या क्या एविडेंस मिला उसके खिलाफ? FIR तो इनएडमिसिबल हो गया because that was a confession made while in constructive police custody. Because obviously when you are making an FIR, confessional FIR against yourself, after that the police will not let you go from there. So you are already deemed to be in custody. So FIR as such is not admissible, but the discovery part of that is admissible. The recovery of the dead body and the tangi was there. Another thing, another evidence against him is that a blood-stained chadar, bed sheet, that was discovered from his house, and also the fact that he had gone to the Dungi Jharan Pahad, means that hill. तो तीन फैक्ट्स उसके खिलाफ है. एक तो डिस्कवरी स्टेटमेंट, rest of the FIR is not admissible because that was confessional FIR while in police custody, and hence section 26 will bar it, but discovery statement part is admissible as per section 27. Another fact that a bedsheet, blood-stained bedsheet was discovered from his house, and number 3, the fact that he had gone to that hill where he actually murdered. These 3 evidences are there against him. And mind you, just for your information, this person who himself admitted he got the discovery done. So it is a very strong, it appears to be very, very strong evidence against him, but ultimately in the trial and the Supreme Court also has acquitted him. Because the court said that this much is not sufficient. Richa is writing that, sir, he also made an admission to his uncle, that is fine, but that is not properly proved in the case. That is not very properly proved in the case. तो सिर्फ 3 एविडेंसेस उसके खिलाफ हैं, क्योंकि FIR तो एडमिसिबल है ही नहीं ना, सिर्फ डिस्कवरी स्टेटमेंट एडमिसिबल है, और इस वजह से कोर्ट ने उसको अक्विट कर दिया. Therefore this person was acquitted. देखो आगे कोर्ट क्या कहता है. See what the court says. Supreme Court. This evidence is not sufficient to convict the appellant of the offences under section 302. Means these 3 evidences in themselves are not completing the chain of circumstantial evidences, and therefore we will have to acquit him on the charge of section 302 IPC. In the result, the appeal is allowed, the conviction and sentence passed by the courts below are set aside, and the appellant is directed to be set at liberty forthwith. Means despite such a strong case being there, the accused was finally acquitted by the Supreme Court also. That is the importance of circumstantial evidences. Circumstantial evidences नहीं थे, चूंकि नहीं थे, circumstantial evidences were not there, and since they were not there means only 2-3 evidences were there, and discovery statement, I told you earlier, it is not a very, very strong piece of evidence. It needs to be corroborated by other evidences. And since in this case there are no other circumstantial evidences, there will not be a conviction in this case. Someone is asking me, sir, what is your opinion on the final verdict in this case? I think my opinion is fine. My opinion is the same as the Supreme Court. There is some flaw in the investigation in this case. The investigation could have been better. And more evidences could have been gathered. But Supreme Court will decide, or any court will decide on the basis of evidences which are available, no? The court will not go to investigate the case itself. So there is some defect on the part of investigation, and therefore some other evidences which could have been there were not there, and therefore in this case acquittal was done. But जितने evidences court के पास हैं, they are not completing the chain of circumstantial evidences. They are not completing the chain of circumstantial evidences, and therefore the court has acquitted in this case. ठीक. Now इस केस को पढ़ लीजिएगा आप, गूगल से निकाल लीजिए या किसी साइट से निकाल लीजिएगा. अब ऑनलाइन में बैठे हो तो अभी तो मैं यहाँ पे दे नहीं सकता ना आपको. यहाँ पे होते तो आई कुड हैव गिवन द केस टू यू. और ये केसेस मैं पीडीएफ वगैरह में प्रोवाइड नहीं कर सकता बिकॉज इट इज़ अ मैटर ऑफ कॉपीराइट of Eastern Book Company, so I cannot convert it into PDF and send it to you. But in your evidence booklet, yes, the evidence booklet that we have given to you, the evidence booklet of cases, उसमें तो ये case है, वहाँ से पढ़ लो. We have given the evidence booklet to you in which this case is written in details. So you can read it from there. कई लोगों को गुस्सा आ रहा है कि सर जी ये एविडेंसेस तो सफिशिएंट थे फिर भी कन्विक्शन नहीं हुआ. सर जी आपको लग रहा है कि एविडेंसेस सफिशिएंट थे. अगर एविडेंसेस सफिशिएंट होते तो कन्विक्शन जरूर होता. आपको इसलिए लग रहा है कि एविडेंसेस सफिशिएंट थे क्योंकि आप एफआईआर में पढ़ रहे हो सब कुछ. लेकिन याद रखिएगा, एज पर लॉ confessional FIR is not admissible. So whatever motive etc. he has said, nothing is admissible. Nothing is admissible. And therefore, in this case, acquittal was done. So we have come to know the story because of the confessional FIR, but the entire confessional FIR is not admissible. So we don't have evidences. We don't have evidences excepting mainly the discovery statement and one or two more. So that alone is not sufficient for conviction. Now with that I am over with the word distinctly, as I was explaining it yesterday also. अब next topic that we have to discuss, mere discovery is not sufficient, identity of the object is also important. Now this point I have already discussed with you. Is mere discovery sufficient or identity of the object is also required? So this point we have discussed with you already. Someone is writing, we don't have the study material at home, sir. I know, I do understand, because you people did not carry your material with you when you were going home. But by the end of not May, but by the mid of June, by the 20th of June, we will be having all the study material in a PDF form in our app. तो उसके बाद आप उससे पढ़ सकते हो. अभी we are developing the app more to have the study material etc. So by the second week of June, we'll be having all those study material in the app, the cases and everything. So then you can use it. After that, the next topic, a very important discussion, is about non-confessional statements. Is about non-confessional statements. Is about non-confessional statements. I told you, no, like many people are asking this. I told you that by the mid of June, our app will be totally developed. Translation papers, English material, case material, written ones, case material, not the original cases, but the written ones, the latest judgments of 2019-20, your study material that we give to you, everything, GS ka material, GS ka test papers, everything will be there in the app by the mid of June, and you all will be able to have it at home. And if you can manage one printer from somewhere, then you can have a printout of that also. Otherwise, you can read it directly from the computer or the mobile phone. Everything, test material से लेके हर चीज होगा, सब कुछ होगा उसमें। जो जो आपको यहाँ पे मिलता है वो सब आपको मिड जून के बाद घर पे मिल जाएगा ऐप के थ्रू। बस थोड़ा सा वेट कर लो, क्योंकि यू नो दैट इन लॉकडाउन इट इज डिफिकल्ट टू डेवलप एवरीथिंग, so therefore it is taking some time. We are already working on it. It will be a complete app. Live streaming is just one small part of the app. ऐप में लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग इज जस्ट वन पार्ट। उसके अलावा बहुत सारे बॉक्सेस होंगे, बहुत सारे टैब्स होंगे। टेस्ट पेपर का टैब होगा, ऑनलाइन टेस्ट पेपर होगा, आपका सब्जेक्टिव टेस्ट पेपर होगा जो कि इवैल्यूएट किया जाएगा। दैट विल बी इवैल्यूएटेड, जैसे आप यहाँ इवैल्यूएट करवाते हो वैसे ही इवैल्यूएट भी किया जाएगा। ट्रांसलेशन का पेपर होगा, इंग्लिश का पेपर होगा, आपका स्टडी मटेरियल सब्जेक्ट वाइज होगा, केस मटेरियल होगा, लेटेस्ट जजमेंट्स होंगे, एवरीथिंग विल बी देयर। So don't worry, it is a complete whole package that we are developing, so don't need to worry about that. It is being developed. And by the way, to inform you, iOS में जो प्रॉब्लम हो रहा था ना, I have come to know that was basically because of the lockdown and the huge rush with the Apple company. Because most of the educational institutions have gone online and they are all applying for iOS application. So that is why yesterday also I hope I told you. So that is why they were not be able to respond very quickly. But today only I have received a mail from there and an invoice from there. So my payment has been deducted now. My payment has been deducted and I have been informed today morning that you are now a member of the Apple development program, which means that within 2 days we will be putting our app to the iOS company, to the Apple company. Thereafter they will be doing the verification and thereafter our iOS app will start working. It is in their hands now. It is in their hands now how much time they take for verification. Earlier, before lockdown, they used to take 3-4 days, and 3-4 days में app visible हो जाता था. But now, since the lockdown is there and they are also working from home, plus a lot of rush is there, so maybe they take some extra time. It may be 10 days, it may be 15 days, 20 days, that I do not know. But now the app will be there. iOS platform pe app will be there. So you be happy about it. Those of you who are using the mobile phones, Apple mobile phones. पेमेंट डिडक्ट होने का ही प्रॉब्लम था, वो हो गया तो उसके बाद सारा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो गया है. आई हैव मेड अ वेरी सिंसियर रिक्वेस्ट टू देम to make it fast. If you talk to them in a very sweet, respectful language, no, so they listen to you. And you know how respectful language I use while speaking, and obviously while writing I'll be more respectful. So we have to now next move into section 162 CRPC and non-confessional statements. हाँ, ये मत प्रिज्यूम कर लेना कि एप्पल मोबाइल पे तुरंत देखने को मिल जाएगा. डिपेंड करता है वो कितना टाइम लगाते हैं. हो सकता है 5 दिन में वो वेरीफाई कर ले, क्योंकि वो जो हमने ऐप बनाया है ना, उसका एक एक एंगल, एक एक चीज देखेंगे वो कि इज देयर समवन ट्राइंग टू मिसयूज आवर ऐप, आवर पोर्टल. सो दे विल वेरीफाई वेरी डिटेल्ड. सो दैट विल टेक सम टाइम. एंड नाउअडेज बिकॉज ऑफ द रश दे मे टेक मोर देन 10-15 days also. So I'll take a break here, and after the break we continue with this discussion. Section 162 CRPC in reference to non-confessional statements in section 27. Someone is writing, next topic is what is meant by police custody. अभी तो बता दिया. Basically, when the topic was what is meant by police custody, so I meant to say constructive police custody. So that I just read from Agnu Nagesiano, and I told you, even if the person has not been formally arrested, if the situation is such that he will certainly be arrested there and then, and actually later he is formally arrested. So even before formal arrest, it will be a case of constructive police custody. So Agnu Nagesia is a very important example of constructive police custody, wherein the person made a confessional FIR. While he was making confessional FIR, confessional FIR, the accused was not yet formally arrested, but after that he was arrested formally. So even while he was making the confessional FIR, he will be said to have been in deemed custody. He will be said to have been in deemed custody. So that is what I was supposed to be discussing, which I have already discussed with Agnu Nagesia. Now next जो topic था हमारा, you see, if you take out the Bail Act, if you please take out the Bail Act, section 27, I am reading section 27 very quickly once again. Provided that when any fact is deposed to as discovered in consequence of information received from a person accused of any offence. Now this part I have read already several times, so therefore I am reading fast. Provided that when any fact is deposed to as discovered in consequence of information received from a person accused of any offence in the custody of a police officer, so much of such information, whether it amounts to a confession or not, so much of such information, whether it amounts to a confession or not, means it can be a confessional statement or it can be a what? It can be a confessional statement or it can be a non-confessional statement also. Confession or not, as relates distinctly to the fact thereby discovered, may be proved. So इसमें दो points हैं, apart from the other important points. 2 points are there for us right now. In the custody of a police officer. अब अगर Agnu Nagesia में he was not in custody of police officer, then that discovery statement would not have been admissible, because he would not have been in police custody. But why it is made admissible was because he was in constructive police custody, he was in deemed police custody, and therefore that discovery statement was made admissible. Had he not been in police custody, then discovery statement would not have been admissible. अगर वो कस्टडी में नहीं होता, if he had not been in custody, then that discovery part would not have been admissible, because the statement was made without police custody, whereas section 27 requires that the statement should be made while he was in police custody. So that is where the importance of the term deemed or constructive, deemed and constructive are the same, दोनों same है, deemed or constructive police custody becomes important. अगर पुलिस ने formally arrest कर लिया है, तब तो it is a police custody. But even if police has not formally arrested, there can be a situation where it can be a situation of constructive police custody. Agnu Nagesia is a very important example of that, where he gave the confessional FIR, he was not formally arrested, still he will be said to be in deemed custody. Okay? So that part is over. The other part that we have to discuss now is so much of such information, whether it amounts to a confession or not, whether they are writing, whether it amounts to a confession or not. Means what? It can be a confessional FIR or it can be a it can be a confessional statement. It can be a confessional statement or it can be a non-confessional statement also. तो अभी तक हम कन्फेशनल स्टेटमेंट्स की बात कर रहे थे. वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट कन्फेशनल स्टेटमेंट्स. नाउ वी हैव टू टॉक अबाउट नॉन कन्फेशनल स्टेटमेंट्स. नॉन कन्फेशन मीन्स व्हाट? A statement in which the person has not admitted his guilt. A statement in which the person has not admitted his guilt. So that is non-confessional. और इसके कॉन्टेक्स्ट में, इन द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ दिस नॉन कन्फेशनल स्टेटमेंट, वी हैव गॉट सेक्शन 162 CRPC. This is what we have to discuss in the context of this right now. अब I had asked you to read section 162 CRPC. मैंने आपको बोला था कि आप 162 CRPC पढ़कर आइएगा. परसों भी बोला था और लास्ट क्लास में भी बोला था. तो आपने पढ़ा है तब तो समझ में आएगा, नहीं पढ़ा है तो आपकी गलती है, तो समझ में नहीं आएगा. क्योंकि CRPC is not being taught right now. Right now I am teaching Evidence Act. So I'll pick up sections, I'll pick up portions from 162 CRPC, but I'll not be getting into the detailed discussion of 162 CRPC. That I will discuss only when I teach CRPC. So therefore I had asked you to read 162. देखो, what does 162 tell you? What does section 162 tell you? Anyone please? वरुण गुप्ता लिख रहे हैं, यस सर पढ़ लिया. वेरी गुड वरुण, वेरी गुड. टेल मी प्लीज, व्हाट डज 162 टेल यू? इन वन लाइन यू कैन राइट. एक लाइन में लिख दीजिए यहाँ पे क्या कहता है. आई एम वेटिंग, आई एम गिविंग यू 30 सेकेंड्स टाइम. 30 सेकेंड का टाइम दे रहा हूं. आप लिखिए प्लीज. प्लीज राइट ऑन लाइव चैट. व्हाट डज सेक्शन 162 CRPC टेल यू? शुभी सिंह लिख रही है पढ़ ली सर. पढ़ ली तो बहुत अच्छा है शुभी, लेकिन क्या कहता है वो तो लिखो. श्रुति तिवारी राइटिंग एग्जामिनेशन ऑफ विटनेस बाय पुलिस. स्टेटमेंट्स मेड टू द पुलिस नॉट टू बी साइंड. हरकीरत नंदा. वेरी करेक्ट. लेकिन और भी है ना हरकीरत, उसमें और भी चीजें हैं ना. यस, यूज स्टेटमेंट का यूज एज एविडेंस. ज्योति लिख रही है इट कैनॉट बी यूज फॉर एनी पर्पस. वेरी करेक्ट, एक्सेप्टिंग द 4 पर्पसेस. चलो, लेट मी एक्सप्लेन. मेनी ऑफ यू आर राइटिंग सो मेनी थिंग्स एंड यू आर ऑल राइट. You are all right. The messages are scrolling very fast, so I am not able to read everything. I'll read them later on. ठीक है, all of you are right. सब, God bless all of you. All of you are right. देखो, what you have to appreciate. Section 162 CRPC, I am picking up only the portion which is relevant for our discussion right now. I am not discussing the whole of 162 CRPC, only that portion which is relevant for us right now. Section 162 says that if any person makes a statement to the police officer in the course of investigation, if any person makes a statement to the police officer in the course of investigation, then such a statement cannot be used for any purpose. Means it cannot be used for any evidentiary purpose. It cannot be used for any evidentiary purpose. I'll repeat in Hindi. अगर in the course of investigation एक व्यक्ति पुलिस ऑफिसर को कोई बयान देता है, स्टेटमेंट देता है, तो वो स्टेटमेंट किसी भी उद्देश्य के लिए उसका इस्तेमाल नहीं किया जा सकता. अब इसके कुछ एक्सेप्शंस हैं, कुछ सेविंग क्लाउज हैं, जैसे कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन के लिए कर सकते हो, अगर कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन किया तो एक्सप्लेनेशन के लिए कर सकते हो, अगर कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन किया तो एक्सप्लेनेशन के लिए कर सकते हो, प्लस क्लाउज 2 में लिखा है डिस्कवरी स्टेटमेंट और डाइंग डिक्लेरेशन के फॉर्म में भी इस्तेमाल कर सकते हो. ठीक है. क्लाउज 2 क्लियरली सेज दैट यू कैन यूज इट फॉर अ डाइंग डिक्लेरेशन और a discovery statement. It is clearly written as a saving clause in clause 2. Is that fine? Now this is broadly section 162 CRPC. Ab suppose, listen to my example carefully. Suppose a person A is a suspect. A person A is a suspect. Suspicion that he has committed a crime. A person A is a suspect and the suspicion is that he has committed a crime. Fine? An offense. He has been arrested and he is right now in police custody. He has been arrested and he is right now in police custody. Fine? While in police custody, he makes a statement to the police. But that is not a confessional statement. He makes a statement to the police. He admits certain facts, but not the guilt. And it is not a confessional statement. For example, he tells the police that no, I have not committed the offense. He tells the police while in police custody that no, I have not committed the offense. I actually was present on the spot at the time when the offense was committed. मैं वहाँ पे था, मैं witness था. I was a witness. I saw the crime being committed by some X. But I did not commit the crime. And thereafter I followed X and I saw him hiding the murder weapon at so and so place. Is it not a disclosure statement? अब चूंकि ये कन्फेशनल स्टेटमेंट नहीं है तो ये 25-26 में तो फॉल करेगा नहीं एविडेंस एक्ट में, बिकॉज इट इज नॉट अ कन्फेशनल स्टेटमेंट. कन्फेशनल तो तब होता ना जब वो कहता कि मैंने मारा है. इफ ही हैड टोल्ड दैट आई हैव किल्ड देन इट वुड हैव बीन कन्फेशनल. बट ही इज सेइंग दैट आई हैव नॉट किल्ड, एक्स हैज किल्ड. आया समझ में? ही इज सेइंग दैट आई हैव नॉट किल्ड, एक्स हैज किल्ड. And I saw him killing, and I followed him thereafter. And I saw him hiding the pistol by which he had killed. The pistol is kept at so and so place. The police takes him to the spot and gets the pistol discovered. The police takes him to the spot and gets the pistol discovered. Fine. Now, later on, in investigation, more evidences are collected against A, and later on at the stage of trial, A is made the accused. ट्रायल भी A के खिलाफ ही होता है. X के खिलाफ कोई एविडेंसेस नहीं मिले लेकिन A के खिलाफ evidences were found apart from this discovery statement and trial was conducted against A. In the trial, apart from the other circumstantial evidences, one evidence is that he was in police custody when he made a disclosure statement that the object is kept at so and so place and the object was actually discovered from that place. Will you take it as a discovery statement or not against A? That is the question. अब it is not a confessional statement. But then section 27 says whether it is a confession or not, means it can be a non-confessional statement also. तो ये जो A ने कहा था पुलिस को पुलिस कस्टडी में, वो एक non-confessional statement था, वो एक admissional statement था. That was an admissional statement. That was an admissional statement. That was an admissional statement, that was a non-confessional statement. But as per section 27, even if the statement is non-confessional, a discovery statement may be used against the accused. So, even if this accused A, while in police custody, had made a non-confessional statement, the discovery part of his statement will be admissible against him in light of the fact that there are other circumstantial evidences also. आया समझ में? मुझे तो नहीं लगता कि आया. I think I need to repeat it. One or two times more. बताइए समझ में आया? Did you understand or not? Did you understand my story? Did you understand my story? The story that I told you. Please write yes sir, no sir. अब देखो that statement that he made in police custody, that statement that A made in police custody, that is a statement made to the police in the course of investigation. That statement is hit by section 162. The statement, अब मैसेज करना छोड़ो और सुनो मुझे ध्यान से. The statement that he made to the police while in police custody, that statement was made to the police officer in the course of investigation, and therefore it will be hit by section 162. And what does 162 say? That such statement which was made in the course of investigation to the police, investigation of chapter 12 to the police, will not be used for any purpose. So that overall statement that I saw X killing, that I followed him and I saw him hiding the weapon, this entire statement cannot be used for any purpose. This entire statement cannot be used for any purpose excepting contradiction, explanation, and as per the proviso, discovery statement and dying declaration. Otherwise वो पूरे का पूरा statement जो उसने दिया था, that is hit by section 162 and that will not be admissible for any purpose. But section 27 क्या कहता है? Be it confessional or not. So even if it is a non-confessional statement, it will be allowed. The discovery part will be allowed under section 27. The discovery part will be allowed under section 27. Fine. So even if that second clause in section 162 had not been there, even then, as per section 27, the discovery part would have been allowed. But then you have the second clause of section 162 also, which says that nothing in section 162 would apply to a dying declaration and discovery statement. Means what? Discovery statement will be permissible, it will be admissible. Even though the statement was a non-confessional statement. अगर वो confessional statement होता कि हाँ मैंने मारा है, तब तो it would have been hit by section 26 of the Evidence Act. But the discovery part would have been admissible under section 27. But even if it is a non-confessional statement, it is not hit by 26 because it is a non-confessional statement. But it is still hit by section 162 CRPC. And therein, under 162 CRPC, the saving clause says that even if it is hit by section 162, the discovery part will be admissible. And 27 also says, Evidence Act also says the same thing, that the discovery part will be admissible. Is that fine? Now it is my duty to explain that once again. अभी मैंने एक बार समझा दिया है, अभी इसको 2 बार और समझाऊंगा. I'll explain this 2 times more in the next class. But before that, I request you to VOD में दोबारा देख लेना जो अभी मैंने समझाया है. See the VOD again tonight. Listen to it carefully. Read section 27 and 162 5-6 times. And then come to the next class. Then you will understand it very thoroughly. Abhi I know that one explanation would not be sufficient. So I'll be explaining it 2-3 times tomorrow. 2-3 times more tomorrow. Unless everyone writes here that yes, I have understood. ठीक है. ठीक है. So I think for today it is all. We meet tomorrow again for the class. Until then, goodbye. Stay safe and God bless you. And do study, please. I have given you the facility of VOD just to ensure that you watch the video again so that you are able to revise, and some points which you may have missed out in the class, those points you can revise and understand. But I will repeat this topic again tomorrow. So hopefully tomorrow section 27 should get over, or maybe one more class or half a class more will be required after tomorrow. ठीक है, bye bye.